What if I told you that in one country, the most Muslim-populated nation on earth, people celebrate Islam in ways you have never seen anywhere else in the world? We're talking about traditions that mix ancient rituals, local culture, and deep faith into something truly extraordinary. Some of these will surprise you. Some will move you. And at least one might completely change how you think about Islam. This is Indonesia, and these are 10 unique Islamic traditions you need to know about. Indonesia is home to over 240 million Muslims. That's more than any Arab country in the world. But unlike many places, Indonesian Islam didn't just arrive and stay the same. It blended with hundreds of local cultures, languages, and ancient beliefs across more than 17,000 islands. The result? A version of Islam that is deeply spiritual, beautifully creative, and unlike anything else on the planet. Let's dive in. Pushpin tradition number 1. Sekatan. First up is Sekatan, a week-long festival held in Yogyakarta and Solo to celebrate the Prophet Muhammad's birthday, known as Maulid Nabi. But this is not your typical religious ceremony. It features gamelan music, a traditional Indonesian orchestra of gongs and drums, played inside the palace compound for 7 straight days and nights. People believe that listening to this sacred music brings blessings. There's also a massive street fair, traditional food stalls, and a royal procession. It's part spiritual celebration, part cultural carnival, and it has been going on for over 500 years. Pushpin tradition number 2. Grebeg. Closely connected to Sekatan is a ritual called Grebeg. At the end of the Sekatan festival, the Sultan's palace sends out enormous cone-shaped towers made entirely of food, rice, fruits, vegetables, and traditional snacks. These towers, called Gunungan, meaning mountain, are symbols of the Sultan's gratitude to God and to the people. When the towers are carried through the streets, crowds rush to grab pieces of the food, because locals believe that touching or eating it brings good luck and blessings. It's chaotic, it's joyful, and it's deeply meaningful. Pushpin tradition number 3. Talalan. When someone passes away in Indonesia, families don't grieve alone. They gather neighbors and friends for a ceremony called Talalan, a communal prayer session held on the 1st, 3rd, 7th, 40th, and 100th day after a death, and then again on the 1-year anniversary. Together, they recite verses from the Quran, say special prayers, and share a meal. The word talal comes from the Arabic phrase La ilaha illallah, there is no God but Allah. This tradition gives families a way to mourn together, remember the deceased, and seek God's mercy for the person who has passed. It is one of the most widely practiced Islamic customs in all of Indonesia. Pushpin tradition number 4. Nyadran. Before the holy month of Ramadan begins, many Javanese Muslims visit the graves of their ancestors in a tradition called Nyadran. Families clean the grave sites, offer flowers, recite prayers, and often share food together right there at the cemetery. It is a moment of remembrance, gratitude, and connection, a way of saying to those who came before, "We have not forgotten you." Critics have debated whether this mixes too much local tradition with Islamic practice. But for millions of Indonesians, Nyadran is simply how they honor their loved ones and prepare their hearts for Ramadan. Pushpin tradition number 5. Lebaran Ketapat. You probably know about Eid al-Fitr, the big celebration at the end of Ramadan. But in Indonesia, there's a second Eid celebrated about a week later, called Lebaran Ketapat. Ketapat is a diamond-shaped rice cake wrapped in a woven palm leaf. It is the star of this celebration and is shared with family, neighbors, and the poor. The shape of the ketapat is said to symbolize forgiveness. The weaving of the leaf represents the complexity of human mistakes, and the clean white rice inside represents a pure heart. Sharing ketapat is how Indonesians say, "I forgive you, and I hope you forgive me." Pushpin tradition number 6. Baratan. In the province of Aceh, the night of the 15th of Shaban, the month before Ramadan, is celebrated with a tradition called Baratan. Children carry beautiful lanterns through the streets, reciting prayers and songs. This festival marks a night Muslims call Laylatul Bara'ah, the night of forgiveness, when many believe God records the fates of all people for the coming year. The glowing lanterns are a symbol of light, hope, and the search for God's mercy. It looks like a magical parade, but every step carries a spiritual meaning. Pushpin tradition number 7. Mandi Safar. In coastal communities in Kalimantan and other parts of Indonesia, the last Wednesday of the Islamic month of Safar is marked by a bathing ritual called Mandi Safar, literally, Safar bathing. People bathe in rivers or the sea, believing the water cleanses them spiritually and protects them from illness and bad luck. Prayers are recited, and sometimes small paper talismans with Quranic verses are floated into the water. While scholars debate its roots, for the communities that practice it, Mandi Safar is a heartfelt expression of trust in God's protection. Pushpin tradition number 8. Khataman al-Quran. Completing a full reading of the Quran, all 30 chapters, is a major spiritual achievement. In Indonesia, this milestone is celebrated with a communal ceremony called Khataman al-Quran. Families gather, a festive meal is prepared, and the child or student who has completed the Quran recites the final verses aloud. The community prays together for blessings upon the reader. It's a deeply personal moment wrapped in community celebration, proof that in Indonesia, even private spiritual growth is something to share with others. Pushpin tradition number 9. Halal by Halal. After Eid al-Fitr, offices, schools, and communities across Indonesia hold a gathering called Halal by Halal, a uniquely Indonesian tradition that has no direct equivalent anywhere else in the Muslim world. People gather specifically to ask each other for forgiveness. Bosses apologize to employees. Children bow to elders. Old friends reconnect. The phrase halal by halal itself roughly means making lawful what was unlawful, in other words, releasing old grudges and starting fresh. This tradition was popularized in the mid-20th century and has since become one of the most beloved social rituals in all of Indonesia. Pushpin tradition number 10. Debus. Our final tradition might be the most jaw-dropping of all. Debus is a traditional performance art from Banten, West Java, in which performers appear to be completely immune to physical harm. They pierce their skin with sharp objects, walk on glass, and endure fire, all while reciting prayers and entering a trance-like state. Practitioners believe that sincere faith and the remembrance of God protect them from injury. Debus has roots going back to the 16th century and was originally used to show the power of Islamic faith and inspire courage. Today, it is performed at festivals and cultural events as a stunning display of spiritual devotion and human willpower. Indonesia is living proof that Islam is not a single thing. It is a living, breathing faith that grows differently in every soil it touches. From lantern parades to rice cake rituals, from communal grave visits to seemingly superhuman acts of faith, these traditions show a people who love their religion deeply and have made it beautifully their own. If this video opened your eyes to something new, give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel reach more curious people just like you. Drop a comment below. Which tradition surprised you the most? I'd love to know. And if you want to keep exploring the world's most fascinating cultures and religions, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Until next time, keep asking questions, keep staying curious. I'll see you in the next one.